Hi folks, just want to walk you through a tool I created real quick. This is a CatW essay format guide. You can find this in a prior email that I sent out to your class, and you can also find this on Blackboard under CatW practices. On the first page, you'll see that this is just a general overview of what goes in a CatW. So paragraph 1 is our introduction. It's also the paragraph that the summary goes in. Has our 4-sentence summary, main idea, and major supporting details. It has our thesis statement, what you believe about the essay that you read. The optional hook statement is usually in the form of a question at the beginning of the paragraph, and it's used to draw the reader in. If we're taking the multitasking essay as our example, a hook for that essay might be something like, have you ever caught yourself trying to do more than one thing at the same time? So a question like that brings the reader into the topic, gets them thinking about it, and then you go into your summary. That's optional, as it says there. That's kind of more like a creative flourish than a necessity. The second paragraph is our first body paragraph. That's the opinion paragraph, also known as the response paragraph. Our opening sentence that builds off of our thesis. So if our thesis is regarding the article or thinking about the author's points, my point of view is, or my belief is, the first sentence of the next paragraph is going to start, I believe blank because blank. Then you're going to have evidence from the text. You'll have the rest will be your analysis, explaining your opinion. The personal experience paragraph, you have a topic sentence that is introducing the reader to the idea that you're going to be sharing a personal experience that's related to your argument. Then you're going to tell a true story, hopefully about something that happened to you or something that happened to someone that you know, excuse me, but otherwise as a piece of information that you got from outside the article. So something that you watched, something that you read. And then you have connection sentences. So in other words, at the end of that paragraph, you're going to come back and say, this is how my experience is related to the argument. This is what my experience proves. Your conclusion has a simple task: to restate your thesis and to make a recommendation, to end on a strong note. So if you go through this paragraph, each subsequent page here is focused on one paragraph. What you see here is the intro paragraph format, the way that we've usually done it. The article blank by blank is mostly about or discusses blank. Then here's room for your supporting details, and then your thesis. I'm just going to go through this fairly quickly because it should be review, and also this is available if you want to look at it in a more detailed way. Here's a basic planner for the opinion paragraph. The topic sentence of this paragraph again builds off of your thesis. Your thesis doesn't really explain your point of view so much as states it clearly. Here in this paragraph is where you're going to begin to explain your point of view more clearly. Your quote from the article. Again, you're going to choose a quote that fits with your argument, a quote that you can dissect and analyze, that builds your argument up. Your paraphrase, putting it into your own words. And then here is basically for your analysis section. To explain further, in addition, overall. Your outside experience or personal experience paragraph I've broken down into 3 sections. The first section is a topic sentence that tells the reader you have a personal experience that you are going to relate, or that you have outside knowledge on the topic that you're going to explain. These are just 3 different sentence starters. I've seen this in my own life when such and such happened. I can relate to this topic because I experienced it myself, or someone close to me experienced it. I remember a time when music for healing, for example, affected me personally. Then you're going to tell a true detailed story. I would resist the impulse to make something up here. Start with basic background information that the reader needs to know. Walk the reader through the experience, giving as much detail as possible. What is happening? How did it turn out? What did you learn or conclude from the experience? How did it affect you? Lastly, you're going to connect this narrative back to your original topic. What does your experience show? What does your experience say about what the author is arguing, or about what you are arguing based on what the author says? Okay. Your optional paragraph here is the counter-argument paragraph. So, 3 basic parts here. Why some might disagree with you, why they're wrong, and then restating your opinion. So some people might disagree with me because they might also argue that they may also believe. And then here in the second section is where you're going to go point by point, disagreeing and explaining why you disagree, and in fact they're wrong and you're right. So this is not true because blah blah blah. Those who disagree with me are forgetting X, Y, and Z. And then you always want to end your paragraph solidifying your point, summarizing your point. That's the optional paragraph, because you're not always going to have time to write a counter-argument paragraph under Cat W conditions, and the essay is not always going to be a good candidate for it. But if you're looking to incorporate an outside point of view to show the reader that you have thought about the idea critically, then the counter-argument is a good way to do it. Your conclusion, as I said, has 2 simple tasks. You're going to restate the thesis, remind the reader of, after you've gone through your whole argument, what it is that you're arguing, and then a couple different options for ending your essay. Ending it on a recommendation, picking 2 groups of people and saying, well, these are the 2 specific groups of people I think would benefit most from this information in this article, and here's why. Or making a recommendation in general based on the information that you read. It could also be seen as a call to action. In light of the information in this article, we must all use search engines and the internet more carefully. In light of this information, we must all take care not to multitask. So, something like that. So, in terms of using this document, what I would do is I would have it open and sort of for your reference, and then have your blank document that you're using to work. So that way you're not boxed into the template that I've created, but you can look at it and say, okay, this is what I need to put here, this is what I need to put there. And so I hope that's helpful.